buddy. So what's going on? I know. Not much, man. Absolutely nothing when you think about it, which means it's time for...
So many stories too upsetting to look into. A bunch of news that just makes you wanna cry. Then suddenly everything gets less depressing. Could the change of season be the reason why? Some news helps you unwind. It's silly and stupid, but you don't mind.
Yes. Yeah. You ever wonder how local news becomes national? It happened in Montgomery, Alabama. A city-owned riverboat tried to dock in its designated spot along the waterfront, but a pontoon boat was moored there. Cops say the captain of the riverboat asked the pontoon's owners to move, but was ignored. And when a deckhand of the riverboat went ashore to move the smaller boat, the owners weren't happy about it at all. And then this happened. Mind you, what you are about to see is disturbing. So if you have children in the room, punch them hard in the face as a diversion.
Reinforcements.
Whoa. Well, that's disgusting. Appalling. And when I'm disgusted and appalled, I need to see more. Ooh, a new angle.
Check the two guys in the water. Make sure nobody drowns. Make sure we don't have anybody in the water. Check the water.
It's not worth it.
Ooh, that hurts. And then more people jumped in to defend the guy, and it turned into quite the melee, or what the Irish call Friday night. But it's what the rest of us might call just plain good TV, which explains how this quickly went from a local story to a national one. The fact is, fights are interesting. We'll watch a fight in some faraway parliament rather than go to a council meeting in our own neighborhood, especially when it's set to heavy metal. Yes. See what I mean?
Yes.
But that can't be the only reason why a story about a fight on a riverfront merited so much attention. Hell, cable news actually took the local press conference, the police press conference, live. And that's including us. Is it because we think Aunt Helen in Boise might know one of the brawlers in Montgomery? Or are we just filling up space to help out a restless and bored and anxious country? There is no point to cover this story, but everyone did. So who's the bad guy in this brawl? I guess I should have an opinion. If I don't, then I'm not doing my job. I might as well be Bill Hemmer. It just makes him mad when I get home. I assume the other guys were parked where they weren't supposed to be parked, and they should have just moved their boat, but they didn't, so you end up with this fight. And because it was whites versus blacks, you got something even more newsworthy, race. I'm sure if it were white on white or black on black, it would matter less, but it wasn't. And that brings me to another vital part of the story. The black guy who got attacked says it had nothing to do with race, despite what his coworkers say. And cops did consult with the FBI to determine if it could have been a hate crime. They concluded it wasn't. After, again, the guy who got attacked told the cops he didn't believe it was racially motivated anyway. And that's despite another person claiming to have heard the N-word. So if the guy who got jumped isn't calling this a race fight, then why should anybody else? The truth is, with anything like this, there could be bad dudes and good dudes on both sides, and that's got nothing to do with race. But the moment there are groups of a specific type, the media has taught us to see that variable first, rather than the actual individuals within. Anyway, let's be honest, the video of the fight is better than 98% of what you see on Netflix. Seriously, why have you not even noticed the writer's strike? Because that void, the place where we seek entertainment, is now found in the same place as our news. News and entertainment are indistinguishable. It's like when my wife asks me if I've had dinner and I say I already ate, but it was 3 margaritas. Drinks are dinner and entertainment is news. And the good news is the people who get in fights on planes and trains and now loading docks, they never strike. They're always here when you need them. Maybe we should pause and give them a moment of appreciative silence.
Yep.
The amazing thing about life these days, we've democratized entertainment. One day you could be minding your own business looking at videos on your phone, and the next day you're what's being watched in a video on that phone. It could happen to any of us. The most local of stories can go national, and we treat it like news when it's really just chewing gum for a restless and anxious soul. It's something to do until you've chewed the flavor out of that event. No lasting impact unless it's you in that video, and that's something to remember. At any moment, you can become news, and the odds are you will. No one is safe, especially in the summer, when the people behind the scenes stop making up the news and leave it to the rest of us. And it's safe to say, I think, we're doing a better job. Let's welcome tonight's guest. She puts the Fox in Fox News. Host of the story, Martha McCallum. He thought love is all you need until he lost half his stuff. Actor, writer, and comedian Jamie Lizza. She's a woman of the people, and those people are weirdos. Fox News contributor Kat Tim. And finally, black cats. Avoid him for bad luck. My massive sidekick at the end of the day will never be Debbie. This story involves a number of variables. You've got fights, brawls. You've got race. Who's the expert here on this? Kat? No. You haven't brawled in years. All right, Tyrus. We had a conversation about this last night, and you had a very interesting take on it.
Well, the first thing, we don't talk enough about how much the pandemic has hurt us. Mm-hmm. And we saw it because we've lost the ability to fight. I think everybody in here, that was the worst fight I've ever seen in my life across the board. And I used to blame bad fighting on white people, but my people showed up, and together everyone was out of breath. You don't throw a punch and try not to get hit at the same time. It just doesn't work. And the fight was so bad that women were getting punched, and everybody was okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't one person that went on TV who was like, these men were hitting women.
Yeah.
Because the women had a fighting chance. Like, there's one where the guy hits her and she's like, did you just hit me? So there's equality.
Yeah.
But happy to see it. But I mean, what has happened to us is fighting. And you can't, listen, when you're fighting someone, you are going to say stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? So there probably was a couple N-bombs that went out there. Mm-hmm. Probably from us talking to us, coordinating our attack. And then one very scared white guy was like, did you just call your buddy the M-word? And then, oh, that's why he got the chair. It was a setup. But the fighting was awful. Yeah. And I'm glad that the man came up and said it had nothing to do with race and had everything to do with bad beer, no cardio,
Yeah.
And just overall just laziness.
That's an astute analysis. Now I want to go to the news side, Martha. We actually did the press conference for this. And it's kind of, is it because it's news or because we just like gratuitously bizarre stuff? I mean, it's like there's hundreds, thousands of people and suffering every day, but this was the story because it's just fun to watch.
I'm going to go with choice B.
Yes.
I think that's probably in our news decision-making process. When I came into my meeting that morning, everyone said, "Did you see the video?
Yeah.
Have you seen the fight?" But I ask myself why this stuff seems to happen more often now, and you point to COVID. And I'm thinking that it has something to do with the nexus of bad beer, cocktails, and not enough clothing.
Yes.
It's like when people are too casual, they tend to get into fights. Like, look at what happens when people wear sweatpants at the airport. These women are pulling each other's hair out. And I'm thinking to myself, did this happen during Victorian times? Did people who were like corseted and wearing large skirts, women rip each other's hair out and throw each other on the floor at the airport? I don't think so.
No, because they didn't have airports, Martha.
Well, that's true.
But she's right. Back then, you had to formally slap somebody with a glove,
And then a duel.
there would be an arrangement
Or
in
say
the party.
some sort of, like,
The only
witty,
downside is somebody had to go, though.
Insult to them. But
Yeah.
these people are not the best of us. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that the pontoon folks are probably not the best of
Yeah.
us. And they also, when they got handcuffed, they looked totally nonplussed. They're like, yeah, this happens.
Yeah, I want to reach that stage in my life where I get arrested and it's just like another day.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, whatever.
Another
they're
day.
just sitting on the dock.
Jamie, did that remind you of how your divorce went?
Yeah.
What, you didn't see that one coming? that wrote itself. I'm a little disgusted by it personally.
Yeah, this really hit home. I now only have half a pontoon boat. It really was, though. I loved it. The whole watching it. I just it was like watching MMA where no one trained. You know? And then you're right about the Netflix thing, like about people watch this more than that. Like, I have a TV show on Netflix. It took a year to write. I should have just fought Tyrus. That would have been too short.
Maybe build your way up.
For the finale.
Start with Kilmeade.
Yeah, go with Kilmeade. Yeah.
How about the coverage on these fights, though? That had more camera angles than my comedy special. Like,
Yeah.
there were so many people. And
Yeah.
my favorite part was the folding chair. Wasn't the folding
Yeah.
chair? The folding chair is the only piece of furniture that's just as comfortable to be hit with as to sit in.
It is true, though. Why would you hit somebody with a chair? I mean, that's a lot of work. You got to lift it up.
Yeah.
Just hit him with your fist.
Did you see them fighting, Greg?
Yes.
They're big Jerry Springer fans.
Yes, exactly. That's where it started. So, Kat, what did you make? Have you ever been in the middle of a brawl?
No, I was so close, though, because I do have a show in Montgomery, Alabama, this upcoming Sunday, August 13th. Tickets are available at therealcattip.com.
Why don't you have? Oh my God! You should have the both sides to open the
I
show.
saw that it was trending on Twitter when I was in the hotel for another one of my live shows, and I was like, oh, what happened? But it was just, I assume drunken fight. But I have a question for Martha, if that's okay, because we share a wall. Our offices are next to each other. So she knows that I come to work every day in track pants and a hoodie, and I don't have a corset on underneath either. Do you think I'm a violent person?
I think it could possibly go down that road. Be careful.
I've never been in a fight ever. Not to brag.
Yeah. You have stabbed people.
No. Why does everybody always think that? It was, nobody's defending these pontoon jerks, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no,
yeah.
bail fund for these losers.
No.
Everybody hates these guys.
Yeah, there's no GoFundMe.
Or at least give them free
Yeah.
fight lessons. That's
Yeah.
the least you can do.
Yeah, there's actually a Go Fund Yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go, a quick reminder. I've got some amazing guest comedians for the next stop on my book tour. Tom Shalhoub, Jamais Le Sou, Jim Norton, Joe Mackey, and Nick DiPaolo. September 16th, Reading, PA. Go to gutfeld.com for ticket info.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.